I know for a fact that a lot of the people that watch my channel are Swedish born and bred, and even if you're not, you've probably got quite a firm interest in this country. I mean, after all, you found my channel, you're watching my videos. But what if I was to nearly guarantee you that by watching this video, you would come away learning something that you had never heard about Sweden before? Sound tempting? Watch on and find out how. A couple of months back, I started a series right here on this channel sharing 5 facts that you'd probably never heard about Sweden before. And you guys seem to really enjoy it, and I really enjoyed making it. So I decided I'd bring it back for a round 2, sharing 5 more facts that I'm pretty sure I could guarantee that lots of you will never have heard about Sweden before. If you're yet to catch part 1 in this series, I've left the link in the description section down below, so don't worry, you can go check that out first before you get started here. You hear the 5 facts that I've already shared in this series, and today we're heading even deeper because I really had to dig hard. You guys are a clever bunch, you've heard lots of things about Sweden before, and I want to make sure that all of you come away with at least one thing that you definitely didn't know. And you know the rules by now because we've played this game before, so for every fact that you hear today that you already knew, go down into the comment section down below and leave one new one. You have to deposit a new one for every one you've heard, so that way we can make sure that everybody comes away with something new even if they don't get it from my video. But as I said to begin with, I've dug really deep for these ones. These are real deep cuts. Chances are you never heard of any of these before. Are you ready? Let's head in. Okay, I'll start us off today with a nice easy one. Did you know that Sweden is so good at recycling that it actually imports waste from other countries to make up the deficit? Yes, you've probably heard that 52% of the electricity that's made here in Sweden is renewable. It's entirely sustainable. And the reason for that is that 99% of the waste that we produce here in Sweden goes straight back into energy production. And for that very, very reason, if they want to make sure that that 52% of sustainable energy continues to grow and they want to plug that other 48%, they need more waste to do that. But lucky for them, there's a lot in Norway, a lot in the UK, and even more in Ireland. So Sweden actually pays to import that waste so they can turn it into energy here. And I struggle to see how this isn't a win-win for the likes of the UK and Norway. I mean, they're getting paid for their waste and somebody takes it away and disposes it for them. They've really won all the bets here. But jokes aside, huge props to Sweden here. It's great to see a country mass producing energy like this through sustainable sources. A lot of countries could learn a lot from Sweden here. My second fact that you've probably never heard about Sweden before is that it actually has a huge outstanding debt with North Korea. But no surprises here, it's not Sweden that owes the money. Oh no, it's the North Koreans. 43 years ago, when North Korea began to open up its society for the first time, they needed some cars to help them modernize. Perhaps surprisingly, Sweden was one of the first countries in the queue to make sure they could export their goods to North Korea, and the North Koreans wanted 1,000 Volvos, so Sweden sold them to them. Problem is, here we are 43 years later, and that debt was never repaid. In fact, the rumors go that North Korea never intended to pay for those cars, but they still got them, and Sweden hasn't given up hope yet. Because as you'd imagine, the cost of 1,000 cars 43 years ago is a lot different to how it would be today. So there's inflation involved, there's interest involved, but never fear, because Sweden sends an invoice every single year that lets the North Koreans know that their debt is now standing at about 300 million euros. I wonder if Sweden will ever see that money again. And talking about money leads me nicely onto my third fact today that you've probably never heard about Sweden before. So let me try this one on for size with you. Did you know that Sweden is currently the only country in the world that pays more than 1% of its annual GDP as charitable donations? So what that means in practice is that the Swedes are a very giving bunch. Of approximately 200 countries in the world, Sweden is the only one where over 1% of their GDP is donated in charitable donations every year. And I mean, that's something we could all learn from, right? It's quite disappointing that there's not more countries doing this. 1% isn't a lot. It would be great if more people were able to give and support charitable causes. So if you've not done that in a while, maybe this is a friendly reminder that maybe you can give away a few spare pennies to help support somebody that maybe needs it more than you. The fourth thing on my list today, and another game changer for the Swedes, came in 1979, when they became the first country in the world to ban smacking of children. Whether you've witnessed it in real life or you've seen it in a film, you've probably heard of the custom of smacking your children when they do something naughty or something disobedient. And it was quite normal back in the day. But these days, the world is changing, and yet again, Sweden was the progressive country that made it happen. Back in 1979, they became the first country to ban smacking children, and now 30 other countries have followed suit. So maybe Sweden really is as progressive as we've heard. And talking about violence, or their lack of, my fifth and final fact today that you've never heard about Sweden before dives to the heart of war. Over recent years, you won't have been able to escape in the news all the talk about sea level rise and the world shrinking. But did you know that Sweden Sweden is one of the only countries in the world that is actually gaining ground every single year without a war being involved. Yes, because Sweden is not taking this ground forcibly. Oh no, not at all. In fact, there's parts of Sweden where the land is actually rising year on year. That's because if you cast your minds back to the end of the last ice age about 10,000 years ago, when the ice melted, since then the land has actually been rising in several parts of Sweden. It's more common in the north. In the south, it's actually going down every single year, but not enough to offset the trend. You remember recently I made a video about Sweden's high coast? Well, here is where you'll see the change most dramatically, because since the last ice age, parts of the high coast have actually risen by 800 meters. That's basically a new mountain. So I guess the moral of the story is, once again, the Swedes are towering over the rest of us, looking down on us. But now it's time to find out whether the Swedes are the only ones looking smug today. Let me know down in the comment section down below how many of today's 5 facts had you heard before. I hope I've succeeded in my mission and shared a new fact with you about Sweden that you'd never heard before. As I said back at the beginning, you know the aim of the game. If you've heard one of these facts, you've got to deposit a replacement in the comment section down below. That means if you've heard 4 out of the 5, I want 4 new facts, please. Let us know. Everyone's going to come away with something new, and I can't wait to hear what you guys come up with down in the comment section. I think you guys are really enjoying this series, so let me know if that's true with a like down below, and then maybe I'll be using some of your facts in a part 3 if that's something you would like to see. Until then, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. I would really appreciate it. Post new videos twice a week, and if you subscribe and you click that bell button, you'll be the first person to know as soon as those videos go live, and you can check those out in all of their glory. Until then, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate all of your support. I hope you're having an awesome day and that you've learned something new about Sweden today. Until we see each other again, thanks for watching, and goodbye, guys.